All right, so I've recorded two things. I really like what I got from the OPZ. The beatbox thing is whatever, but I do think that I can do something interesting with the sounds that I made if I just don't use them as one linear recording. Maybe what I could do is chop the samples up, which is a pretty common thing when you record longer phrases. Maybe you want to be able to play them back in a different order. Whatever the case may be, we're going to discuss that now. You see under the start end button, it says chop in white, which means we can access that by holding shift. Let me make sure. Turn off loop, set it to gate. I don't need it to keep repeating. I'm going to go ahead and hold shift and press chop. Okay. So now this looks kind of like the start end menu, but it's a bit different. What I can do is I can either manually create chops, basically mark where the chops are going to happen. If I press this pad, this will start the sample, and then I can just press pads to manually assign where I want the next marker to be. I can also go into a menu here, and then we can use AutoMark, where it'll use one of several different methods to determine where the next chop should be. And I think AutoMark actually should work fine for me. So I'm going to select AutoMark. So I could say time division. I trimmed this to be a loop of exactly, I think, what, 1 bar? I don't remember. So I could use time division, but I don't want to do that. Instead, I am going to change this. Oops, not this. We can see in the screen, thankfully it tells us, use knob C2 to change the AutoMark mode. So transient. This probably makes more sense. This way it's going to be looking for volume spikes. And when you're trying to chop up something percussive, if you want to isolate all the individual sounds, transients are usually a good way to go. We also have, there's one more, in level as well. So this is good if you just want to chop things once they cross a certain volume threshold. Maybe they don't have a clear transient, maybe it fades in, but you can use that as well. So let's go ahead and go for transient. Get the hard transients. Okay, let's press the encoder, hit OK. All right, so it created a bunch of marks for us. That's not bad. Okay, and now if I need to clean some of these up, for instance, well, this doesn't start in the right place. This doesn't even really seem like the right kind of chop. Let's zoom in here. Okay, and I don't know that I really need this very first marker at all. Thankfully, what I can do, when I'm assigning the samples that have been chopped, I don't have to assign every single one. So this one I probably wouldn't assign. But we can see we can also move the markers here. So this would be where I could create a new chop, which I don't want. I can move the marker for this, but you see, this is the very first marker, so I can't move that. That's my second marker, and that actually starts in a good spot. So I just won't use this first one. This second one, maybe I want that to start right at the transient there. So this would be a good chance for me to move the marker. I can use C2 and just move that marker. All right. If I need to select a different marker, I can use C3, and then I can move through the markers manually, and we see it lights up the pad, letting me know which one I'm adjusting. All right, I think I'm good here. Now I just want to assign these to pads. Now, one important thing, I need to have space, right, to assign these to some pads, all right? And I'm not sure if I actually cleared out space in any of my banks. We shall see. Let's go to menu, assign to pad. And right now it's showing me that in this bank, only pad 12 is available. Let's see, do I have any available space here? Only those two? Oh, that's tragic. All right, so you know what I think I want to do before I even continue here? Let me exit. I'm going to get out of all this. That won't be difficult to reset up. I'm going to go into one of these banks and just get rid of all the samples in this bank. We looked at deleting before. You can also multi-select. All these are selected. Press delete again. It clears the whole bank. And now I can go back to bank A. Those are my drums. Shift, chop. My marks are still there. Awesome. And now, menu. Assign to pad. Go to bank J. They're all available. I'm going to auto-assign these so they all just get assigned. I could manually do this, but you see, if I press mark, it'll auto-assign starting from J1. Let's just do it. All right, and now we can see, if I go into bank J, All right, those are the samples. And again, I said I didn't want the first one. I'll just go ahead and just delete that. Okay, cool. So my beatbox is nice and chopped up. Before I move on, there's one thing I'd like to do in terms of recording that'll help me bridge the gap between this topic and the next topic, which is effects.